everyone, welcome to my channel. I haven't put anything out for a while. I've been pretty busy, but I have come up with a few things and I would like to get started going back to posting these videos for you. This one I don't have a name for it really, but if you have any ideas, I am open to suggestions. These are using these glass cubes. They're Czech Glass Cubes, and they have one hole down the center. And the problem with beads like this that I use is I don't like my beads to twist around and stuff. That's why I like to work with 2-hole beads and 3-hole beads and stuff a lot more, because you can get them a lot more stable. So I kind of had to think of how I would stabilize them so that they didn't twist around on me. So as you can see, I have managed to do that. This one uses, for our materials, we have the crystal cubes, or they're not crystal, I'm sorry, the glass cubes here. This is Pastel Azuro, and I have some Potomac crystal rondelles. These are 2x3 rondelles, and these are their metallic blue iris. I'm going to use a few 11-ohs, and these are Miyuki galvanized gold, and 15-ohs, and these are also Miyuki galvanized gold. They are not the Duracoat. I got some non-Duracoat metallic seed beads to work with to see if I liked them any better, to see if I had less frustration, and as it turns out, they're a lot less frustrating to work with. So I will just use these and then use some protected clear or something to protect my work. Also, we have 2 wire guards for the ends of the bracelet, and I'm going to use a toggle clasp today. You're going to need a needle, depending on what seed beads you use. I have found that the non-Duracoat Miyuki 15-ohs work well with a size 10 beading needle. You can use a 12 if you like. I'm still able to make multiple passes with 10, and it's not as flimsy as a 12, so I like that. And I'm using black satin Fireline in the 0.006 diameter, or the 6-pound test. I put on about a wingspan of thread, and you're going to need a stop bead. So I put the stop bead on about 8 inches from the end of the tail. Okay, so if you want to get started with me, we're going to pick up a rondelle first, if I can get it. There we go. And a cube. And drop that down to your tail thread. Or I'm sorry, to your stop bead. Now we're going to pick up 9 of these 15-ohs. There's 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yes. And you're coming out of this here. You're going to come around the side of the cube. Do not go through that rondelle, just the cube, and go back in the direction that you just came out of. Give that a little pull. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side of the cube. So we're going to pick up 9 more 15s. Flip this over if you need to. And again, do not go through that rondelle. Just go through the whole of the cube. Pull your thread through. Give yourself a tug. Okay. Now we're going to pick up another rondelle and another cube. Drop those down. Nine more seed beads, or 9 more 15s. Going only through the cube. Give that a little tug so it stays nice and tight between the cubes and the rondelle there. Flip this over. 9 more 15s. Going through the center of the cube only. Pull that up. Make sure you pull tight. Another rondelle and a cube. Nine 15s. Through the center of your cube. 9 more 15s. Up. Now, as you can see right now, these move around quite a bit. They're not stabilized yet. They're still going to twist around on us. That's not the final result here. So if you want to go ahead and add the rest of your rondelles, cubes, and your 15-ohs around the sides, when you get to the end, we'll come back and I'll help you finish. Alright, so coming to the end of your bracelet, for this part at least, you should have something that resembles this. We ended with one of our rondelles. Now you're going to pick up an 11, and one of your wire guards, come down the other side of that wire guard, make sure it goes into that channel there. Now we're going to pick up one side of our clasp, and let that fall in there. Then we'll pick up one more 11, and go back down the rondelle and through this cube at the end. Just throw a pull. Come up these 15s on the side. Through that rondelle, one of your 11-ohs, and one side of your wire guard. Come around through to the other side. Sure your thread is in there. Go through this 11-oh. And the rondelle again. Down through the cube. Now we'll come up the 15s on the other side. Ends of our bracelet are always stress points where the clasp is connected, and you know, when you put it on or take it off, you're pulling on that all the time, so you want to make sure that that is reinforced at least 3 times, I would say. If you're using a thicker thread, maybe like an 8-pound, maybe twice as good. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not sure. I would say 3 times. We work hard on our jewelry and we don't want it to just fall apart on us. Down through that rondelle. Only go down through the rondelle this time. Okay. And go down 7 of the 9 15s on this side. We went through 2, now we're going to go through 5. I'm going to flip this over this way. And also I want to say, with 20 of these cubes on here, it looks pretty long. When we add these side beads and we connect these, it's going to get a little bit tighter. So you don't want to make it too short. Alright, so we're coming out of that 5th bead here on the side. You're going to pick up a 15, an 11, and a 15. We're going to skip these first 2 on this cube and go through the middle 5. And give that a tug. And you see how that pulls in nicely? Another 15, 11, and 15. Coming out of the 5th one here, we're going to go into the 3rd one here. and go down through the 7th. Skipping those last 2 beads. Another 15, 11, and 15. Skipping the last 2, skipping the first 2, going through the middle 5 on that cube. And give that a pull. Alright, so finish doing this side all the way down to the end, and we'll come back and we'll add the clasp on the other end and do these side beads on the other side. Okay, so we have the one side done. I got to the end, came through all of those 15s on the last cube there, and came through the rondelle. Now I'm going to pull my stop bead off, and I'm going to tie this here. So there's that in there. Now I'm going to add an 11 and our other wire guard. Bring your needle down the other side of that. Pull your thread through. Pick up the other end of your clasp. Have that fall into that wire guard there. Pick up my other 11. Go down the rondelle and the cube. I'm going to come up the 15s on this side here. Up the rondelle and one of the 11s. Up through the wire guard. Down through the other side. Through the rondelle and through the cube. Make sure your thread falls into that wire guard. Come up this side of the 15s. Up through that rondelle again. Okay. Now I'll go up through the seed bead and the wire guard. Down the other side, through that 11-0 and the rondelle. Now I'll go through the first 7 of these 15s. There we go. All right. Now the same exact thing that we did on this side previous, we're going to do on this side. So a 15, an 11, and a 15. Coming out of here, skip those 2, go through the next 5. Pull that nice and tight. 15, 11, and 15. Skip these 2 and these 2. Go through the next 5. Give that a tight pull. Continue this to the end, and I'll show you how to tie it off and finish it up. So we made it all the way down to the end. I came through all of these last 15 O's by this cube. My thread's pulled nice and tight. Now I'm not going to go through this rondelle. I'm going to come down through the cube, the next rondelle, and the next cube. Okay. I'm going to find the thread bridge here. Put in a half hitch knot. Go down through this rondelle, the next cube, the next rondelle, and the next cube, and rondelle. Doesn't matter. Go down through as many as you want before you tie another knot. Find a thread bridge. Throw in another half hitch knot. Down through a couple more. For good measure, I'm going to do one more half hitch knot. Pass through a couple more cubes and rondelles. And then I'm going to get my thread cutter here. Give that a little snip. Take my needle off that end of the thread. pop it on over here to the tail thread. There we go. Coming out of here, I'm going to go down through a couple of cubes and rondelles. And this is already tied up here, but I'm going to tie it a couple more times. Through another rondelle and cube. Tie that one off. Send it through another rondelle and cube. And snip that end off. There we go. Alright. As you can see, that did shorten up a little bit. I am going to have to take some links out of this if it's going to fit me, but your beads are stable. You're not going to twist around on you. It's kind of a unique design. So thanks for watching. Thanks for making this with me. You can leave a comment or a like or a dislike if you didn't like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be notified. And you can also visit me on Facebook. My website is armcandycreationsbyt.com. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.